Well, the governing party in the Democratic Republic of Congo has revealed who they want to be president, or rather their presidential candidate, after Joseph Kabila steps down. His name is Emmanuel Ramazani Shadary. Now, he's born the same year as his country became independent. Mr. Shadary has been a vice president and interior minister in Joseph Kabila's government, and one of the key people behind a campaign to keep Mr. Kabila in power beyond his final term, which actually expired in 2016. Well, after months of pressure, elections have been scheduled for 4 months' time. But are the Congolese people confident that they are now set for change? Well, the BBC's Anne Soy reports from the capital, Kinshasa.
Mass at dawn. This is how thousands of Congolese begin the day, drawing strength from here. Not just spiritual, political too. The Catholic Church has been an unwavering voice in the DRC, sometimes at a big price. Justin Motombo shows me bullet holes left on the walls of the church in February when they held protests against a president who's overstayed in office. Elections are now 4 months away, but that hasn't reassured him.
The first experience was not credible. Also the second one, I don't trust the third one.
Elections are meant to be held here in December of 2016, but twice they've been postponed. But even now, nearly 2 years later, you still get the sense that there's so much uncertainty. Moise Katumbi, one opinion poll puts him in the lead in popularity, but the government has blocked him from returning home. Jean-Pierre Bemba, convicted of war crimes, then freed on appeal. But the ruling coalition warns he is not eligible to run. Catholic Church leaders say they must be allowed to participate.
We have no other way. Elections on December the 23rd, or we are going to a chaos of the country.
The UN Security Council says there's no way the country can run the elections alone. They've directed the UN mission here, MONUSCO, to prepare logistical support and provided $80 million. But then the Electoral Commission says they're already working with MONUSCO.
But in reality, to protect sovereignty, the government has said it has enough money. The Electoral Commission plans to distribute election material using our own transport. The government can take charge of that. But if the government feels it can't do everything, we can still go back to MONUSCO to ask for their help.
The people here are hungry for change, and they're demanding for credible elections. Anne Soy, BBC News, Kinshasa.
Well, the choice of Kabila's replacement came as a surprise to many. We went out on the streets and we got these reactions from potential voters in Kinshasa.
Shadary was a surprise, a big surprise. We didn't expect it. There were lots of names that the people were talking about in the party, but in the end, the president surprised everybody.
This is the first time in DRC we've had such an event. The president respects the constitution. May God bless and protect us.
Okay, joining me now to talk through today's events and also to find out more about Emmanuel Shadary is the senior Africa analyst, Vincent Rouget from the organisation Control Risks. Thank you for coming in. Your reaction to today's news, first off?
Well, I think as one of the interviewers said, this wasn't necessarily a name that most people expected. As far as you know, circulated on social media or on the media, but that is often the case on Congo. Finding a successor for Kabila was always going to be a difficult task, given how fragmented the ruling coalition is. And I think there's two things we can read with this nomination and the choice of Shadary. One is that he probably will not pose a major threat to Kabila and his interest after he leaves power. This is someone who has always supported and very loyal to Kabila.
It's already been dubbed the Medvedev You get what I'm saying when I say that.
There are parallels to be drawn, indeed.
Is he really stepping down, or is he taking a break before his fourth term?
So what this announcement, I think, is a strong indication that, at least for the moment, he's stepping down. I would only say for the moment, actually, there hasn't been any formal confirmation and final confirmation that Kabila will not be on the ballot. In fact, the Electoral Commission has given a window of a few additional days until the 13th of August, where potentially, and I say potentially, Kabila could still find his name on the ballot. That is fairly unlikely, but assuming he indeed steps down, I mean, clearly Shadari is a case for continuity, to protect Kabila's interests, but also a major sign of defiance towards the international community. This is someone who is under international sanctions from the European Union and who clearly will not be very welcome from the European Union, among others, but also human rights community.
You know what, we know the phrase, it's the economy stupid, okay? And we know that the DRC is an extremely wealthy country. For outside investors, and they're looking into the DRC, they're looking at the instability. Would this move be enough for them to take that risk to say, okay, you know, let's enter the country?
I think there's still a long way to go. The election is, as you said, 4 months from now. There's a lot of unknowns until that time, and there's a lot of concerns as well around the way the poll is going to be organized, who is going to be allowed to contest on the opposition side. So I think at this stage it is a little bit too premature to call this a decisive step to remaking Congo attractive again. The choice of the nominee also will raise some concerns that this is not really a change. It is, if indeed Mr. Kabila does step down, it is a positive move and it will diffuse some of the tensions, but I don't think we can call that a game changer for international investment into Congo yet.
Okay, Vincent Rouget, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.